As we are sitting down here, we are telling a story. That's why I say this is not that deep, so it's not very hard for you to get. You're just telling your story. And I'll tell you why we tell stories every minute. When you woke up this morning, what did you do? Talk true. Some people say, "Yeah, I went to take my..." It's a lie. You didn't go to take your beats. What did you do? Talk true. Someone who is sincere. What did you do when you woke up? Say it again. You stared into space. Started imagining things. All right? There are some people that start their day that way. Some people that go, probably just stand up and start shouting. That's what I do when I wake up. I'll just start screaming. So everybody will know. I'll just start shouting, "The king is up." My wife will say, "Everything is up. What's your problem?" I said, "No worry, you don't understand. The king is up." Because I need everybody to know that I've woken up. You see, disturbing neighbors. I say they are not hearing me. The king is up. So if I can spend a time with you, there's something you're doing every day, regular, every day. Before you came here, there's something that happened. Possibly you boarded the bike. When you boarded the bike, you had a conversation, right? And that bike man was telling you something. The next thing, probably was talking politics or talking football. Somehow, you're not even interested, but you have to listen because, of course, you come down. Are you seeing I'm telling your story already for your day. That's what happens in church, storytelling. So, before, it used to be marketing. It moved to advertising, right? From advertising, it moved to what? They had marketing, sales, advertising. It now moved to branding. But now, it's people who tell stories that will make it more. Especially organic stories. We are building up what we are doing so that we will learn as much as possible. Once you understand your task as a media person for telling stories, even as a pastor that you are, probably you're going up there to take prayers, you are telling a story. So you won't just go up shabbily. And I will link it up with branding so that you understand that when you go, there's a reason why pastor is dressed the way he's dressed. He emphasizes that you dress well. Because somehow, you talked about influence in leadership or finished leadership. There's something that happens. Once people see that, people sitting in front row, suits, and they have vibe. They are good. They are this one. They can relate with you. But the suit is not restraining them from relating with you. They'll wear suits. Even if they'll come with jeans the first time. And they are coming in with jeans, but you're accepting them. But the suits, by the time they see you all suited up, say, no, this church is for executive people. Some people be angry and say, I cannot meet up with the standard of these people. I'm sure they tell people that thing a lot. Did they? I'm sure they tell you. There's some people that are mediocre, so they'll tell you that. So every day you're actually telling a story. Everything you're doing is a story you are telling. You are living in a story. So I can tell you what I did this morning. Woke up, prayed, edited some few things, did some videos, did this one, do that one. Called, okay, let me see pastor, came back, ate, came back. I can tell you virtually. So nobody forgets a good story. And while we're going on, I will show you what they call story structuring. How you will watch movies, probably if you even do self. Because as a cinematographer and all of those things, I do a lot of, I just try to watch documentaries and all of that on Netflix and all of that. I watch it because it has an impact on my career. I learn a lot from it. So I don't just watch movies because of storyline, which is important. But I watch it because, there's something here I can pick from this and I apply it on my own work. I can even bring it to church. There's this color grading I'm seeing. They mixed green, 10% of green, 70% of orange. This one, blue, about 20%. Oh, it can give me this. It can give me this immediately. So with that, I have a prior knowledge to what I'm doing. Do you get what I'm saying? So, okay, our screen is coming up. We're moving on to storytelling. And let's go on. Now, what is new? The world is evolving. and it has evolved. So the new set of emerging prophets are content creators. True or false? Okay, I'm going to find trouble. But listen to me before you throw me stone. Was Jesus a content creator? Was he part of his assignment? Was he part of what he did? Okay, if he's not a content creator, why are you reading the Bible? It's content. You know, because we have been able to water down that thing. So I said the new emerging prophets are what? Content creators, good or bad. But you know the problem? The bad ones are the ones that are loud. That's why I'll be telling people, it's VDM that's reading Bible for you. Or Dr. Freeze, or Freeze, Daddy Freeze, or whatever. That'll come out. I think Pastor talked about tithing one time. You talked about it that period, yes. I saw that video a long time ago when he started talking about that trend of tithing. So it's VDM that is your pastor. I hear even church men are like, so VDM that your pastor. God, I'm shocked. So if you're not doing content in this day and age, even as a church, my God, you're not even ready. We're talking about something outside right now. I was talking about, he was just trying to tell me that, sometimes it's good that we are just quiet. I say, not for the church. Because there's war right now. There's war against the church. You cannot be quiet. And I'll give you a strategy. On Saturday, in my church, I worship in Living Faith. So, in my church, worldwide, on Saturday, people go out for evangelism. They have taught kingdom advancement since 2015, Wonder Double, since 2015, that people carry track now. You hear, I went to share 10,000 flyers in Lagos in the same day. Oh, God, you know, get work. So I was looking for a job, and I said, he carries the mindset that he's going to work for God, and he was sharing flyers. So on Saturday, we are going to, you cannot be, you want to do work, and Papa declares operations like bank. You have to meet up with, you hear things like, I want to meet up my targets in the bank. That's what they tell us. Tell you, minimum 2 souls. Wonder double. Church has to double. Minimum 2 souls. Imagine. And there's so much tracks. There's so much internet going out there and all of that. And you hear minimum 2 souls. It's targets we are meeting. As if you're a banker. So, you can't be quiet. So the trends. If as an individual, church, business, doesn't understand and follow trend, you become obsolete, and thereby you fade out. So no matter the good things we are doing, if people cannot see what you're doing, it's a waste of time. It's not a good thing at all. I'll tell you for real. If nobody can see what you are doing, you're wasting your time. Because right now, we have the internet. You know, when the internet came, people were shouting, demonic, this one, that one. And I was laughing then. I think 2015, 2013, 2014, 2015. That's when the vogue of, Facebook and all those guys and the likes were coming out. And I was telling a lot of people that care to listen, I said, very soon, this thing that we're undermining will become the only way you can communicate to people. Over 10 years ago. That's what's happening now. AI has come out. Some people have entered internet and they are shouting, AI is demonic. See, I'm like, I understand that part. But you see, there's nothing I do now. I will tune it to my voice. I give it what I want, and I will show you. I give it a prompt. It will give me, put it on any machine you want to put. You won't see anything. I use it to my advantage. The internet, what did they make it for? It's a Babylonian system. It's used against us. But we use it because out of darkness, light came forth. So I don't think all those things work. So we must understand the power of those things. So let's move on. So Matthew chapter 13, verse 34 to 35. Who has a Bible there? Just help me read. Now, nobody lights a candle and puts it under a bushel. True of us. And this is true. This church is light. This church is light. I'm talking about the church in this city now is light. It's the only church that I can see youths all over. Our pastor is a youth. Everybody is a youth here. And let me tell you something. While you're waiting to be leaders of tomorrow, it's a scam. Oh. It's leaders of today. Now, self. All those things that are telling us that we'll be leaders of tomorrow. That's why I use my time to talk about leadership. To tell that the true leadership is not in position. It's who you are. It's in your DNA. Matthew chapter 13, 34 to 35, please. Yeah. 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 Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Wow. What's the parable there? Oh, yeah, I want to answer. What's the story? You know, there's a way we used to see Bible talk and character. We see like one big thing. What he's saying is story. Everything he had to communicate. If he told us in the way, in that heavenly language, we will not understand. We don't understand anything. But he had to put it. A man was going. Oh God, tell us the gist. What he's telling you is gist. He has to communicate it in story. Jesus told more stories than anybody. He talked about the seed, and he will now give you the moral of the story. Because the only way you can understand, humans are emotional beings, they are psychological beings. So we need to tell stories. While I'm preaching the script, the Bible, I'm putting a story inside. While I've been talking, I'm giving you different stories, right? That's why you will listen to me. Stories. In fact, I learned from Ora Robert. I read his book recently. Is it Ora Robert now? Yes, now. Ora Robert. The healing evangelist. Something you can do the impossible. If you can see the invisible, you can do impossible. The impossible. Invisible, you can do impossible. So I was reading his book. The way I read books, I don't rush them. So I read. So he said one of the things his mom taught him from that book was he should learn to tell stories. Always put story. In fact, that was the first thing. Always tell your personal stories. Because people learn from it, not just scripture. I learned that from him a lot. And you see, I'm learning that, and I'm using it for my own career. Because the truth is that we are emotional beings, all of us. I can connect with you through my story. Let somebody come here and say, why did we connect with Jonathan? He didn't have slippers. The man without slippers. We connected with him. Because some people could see themselves. Somebody that can emerge from nothing. Imagine we tell the story of this church for 5 years, that we started this church from nothing. We have pictures of how the first service we had, and we're telling the story. Do you know what I mean? People will come to this church because they believe that if you people can do it, building with youth, with all the impossibility, all the financial constraints, all the economic this thing, and you build a church that is standard for you, you feel this is small, but it is not. You build a church that is standard like this, have sound, have light, have these things that you have. You have cameras. You're doing. There are churches that have stayed for 10 years. They don't have anything. That was Pastor Pojo Yamadi. He'll tell you a story. They did it for years before they got there. So if we are 5 years and we're pulling this string in a city that looks as if the city is not even sitting at all, then there's something God is doing here. You get my point? So, you tell stories. Nobody lights a candle and puts it under a bushel. No. I was talking about this church. And that's what I was telling Pastor right now. I said, there's a lot going up inside, which is beautiful, but there's nothing happening outside. And with ASAP, we'll start doing it because the glass should show that because Coca-Cola spends money in fact, their adverts, their money on marketing is more than some countries' budget for the year. And it's just 10% of their expenses. 10% of their whole income. So they are able to put 10% and they don't feel a thing. And Coca-Cola, you gave me Coke to drink now. Coke I've drank since yesterday and today. There was a time that Coke did something. Adverts. I said, Kai. They prepared, those adverts that you see, they did different food. So they will put egusi and they will now mount Coke on the side. Do you know the power of what you see? When you enter that place, guess what happens? to buy food. Madam, give me amala or eba and soup. Which soup? Egusi soup. And imagine the woman now brings it with that poma and all of those things. And the next thing you're asking for, she say, which drink you want drink? What will you ask for? Those are the strategy of even the devil. He will put it in your eyes. The suya man strategy. He will give you one suya first. This is who taught them that thing. Then you now sit down and say, okay. No. You sit down and say, The truth is, pastor is going to preach. It is what you don't. Even if he has to enter street, it's not pastor that will do the calling. My church, we do. We even gather couples, school campus. They're the ones making call. We should have data of all those things. How was service today? Did you enjoy church? How's church? Oh my God, church was wonderful. Tell me your high points in church. Oh, it was when that worship, that healing, that connecting with the people, and they're like, okay, hope you're going to come next Sunday. I'm in front, front seats. You can't take it. I was telling you about the leadership classroom program we did, because I always do events and that class, leadership classroom. So I always want a tight. I don't want too much people. So I always want this tight circle for leadership, because to have more impact. All these plenty, when they come like that, I'll just go. So if you can come with them for 35 people and you sit down and you're well dressed, you leave whatever you're doing without excuse, then I know you're ready. So there are some people that picked up their phone and said, sir, I beg, when you're doing the next one, don't remove my name, because it's for 35 people. And the next one, we want new people. The serious men that I respect very well say, don't remove my name. I'm coming. If we apply those techniques in church, we'll change the narrative. So as a storyteller, you are not restricted to a box. So that's why we have the production man there. Filmmakers. We have the sound engineer, video editing, set management. Imagine that you come to church. This is how church has been looking. Imagine you come to church next Sunday and I'll have changed sets. Even yourself, you enter church. Possibly, okay, let's say we get good lighting with time, as God helps us. And you decide that, okay, that's what they do in Koza. It's adjustable. The way they made that hall is adjustable. Because it's a tent, it's a tent. I think that was like £2 million. That tent then, many years ago, £2 million as at then. That's how that tent came from China or so. The church, there are things, they use props, they can change things. They change it. Make it very unique. As a set manager, I'm talking about a set now. You're telling stories. Or we have ushers here. People are coming into the church and we have people with their card. Welcome to church. Greet us. One of the best places I like to be on Sunday, online, I don't follow their church. It's Redeemed Church, RCCG, Bridge. You know the bridge now? That's Daddy Adibu's son. That's the guy who's fat and has bow leg. His son, his church, he pastors on Sunday. The Bridge Church. Go and check it on Instagram. Please, if you're here, you don't live on Instagram. Be careful with me. You're a media person. I'm not saying live there and get distracted. I'm saying get ideas. That's a beautiful way you can, like I told you about Still Like an Artist. Go there, you will get ideas. Why don't we do reels in this church? Why don't we do reels invites in church? It's a huge church. As I walked into this place, immediately it showed me that this church, I was calculating things. I started jotting down and I'll tell pastor immediately. If I see pastor, I'll tell him. Just a part of it I've told him. Many things we can do in church here. There's so much you can do. But pastor will not be able to do it, for heaven's sake. He can't pray for you and be doing it. It's you. And that's why I talked about, for those who just came, I talked about stakeholder mentality. As pastor is leading the spiritual, you are leading this other part, because he cannot hold video and video himself. Or camera and video himself. So we talk about the real. So everybody is not restricted. People that clean the church, they are telling a story. They are part of the movie. Every day we come to church on a service, we are acting a movie. So imagine that you're watching a movie and this place is your whole screen. Don't forget, even God is watching us. He's watching the movie here. That's why somehow, based on what they tell us that time, God they arrange angels with the cup. That's our storyline that day. They'll tell you God is arranging angels. Bah, 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 that one. Guy, they worship God. They worship me. Give on that thing. Give it to him. Yo, do you understand? So we have reels, we have content. Great men tell stories. Sorry, I was using Bishop David Oyedepo on this. There's something he talks about the mandate. What is the mandate of this church? Who knows it? You know it? Or what is it? The cure? What's the full it? What's the full? Exactly. So, Bishop Oyedepo will tell you, he will tell you when he got the mandate. 1st May 1981 in an 18-hour vision. You think you don't know what he's doing? Go to all our churches. It's red zinc. Even the new ones we bought is who are you? Red zinc. For heaven's sake. Branding perception. Look at our logo. Red. See this one too? The Bible is there. Carrying the person. The world is down. But the world is carrying it. All over the globe. You don't need to tell me this. Am I correct? No, I don't know, but based on am I correct? I'm telling you the truth. So we're taking the scripture to the world. That's the foundation. So I can look at it. That's my own idea. That foundation there now is Christ. You get? This is my own interpretation if you're not getting it. But I can tell you this because I can see it. Our own is fire because Baba received fire. You know I used to shout now. Baba they shout. He will talk small, then he will shout. I was in Canada one time, we were just making jokes. You know the man was passing. He just looked at me. Says Panos. And someone was preaching like him. So we're receiving the thing. We didn't know that the man was passing. And he just moved quietly. Just turned, looked at us, shook his head with I think that was Pastor Dave and Pastor Steve and some other people. They just shake their head and pass. They were laughing. You don't know. Great men tell stories. Pastor tells stories. He told you how this commission started. Who can tell me a story of how this place started, this church? Who remember? You know my face. I've seen people that I know now. Where you living faith for? No. Where did I know you from? People, I'm just seeing people that I know so much. Okay, so who can tell me how this church started? Who was here when this church started? So how did it start? What was the first service held? You know, so how did it happen? Very rough. Where was it here? Okay, so this building had not come out at all. There was no building at all. Very rough. Everything. No water. It was flat. So 5 years going. Can we now see God's faithfulness in 5 years? Genesis chapter 1, verse what? 1. So what's that? What does it say? Yeah. Genesis 1, verse 1. So I was telling people something now. Someone wants to start from iPhone 17. You never start from iPhone 6. And you know, another thing with young people is that you don't want to fail. Failure is the thing. Fail fast. Yeah, I know. You can't tell me I shouldn't fail. I'm ready. Oh, you feel that when I started like, no, bro, I'm ready. It is. Okay, nice calling. So, great men tell stories. Bishop Edekbo, I'm using him as an instance. He's one of the greatest storyteller I've listened to him for a long time, ever living. And that's the same thing that happens here. Pastor tells the same story. That's why I wanted you to tell the story. For those who have not heard it before, know that church was not like this. So you're seeing fancy channel, you're seeing AC. No, like, so it's not like this the church started though. It started with nothing. But out of that nothing, do we have a picture of that day? We should. We should gather it and do something like a proper documentary. Yeah. Good. But is it on the cloud or something? It's not there at all on Facebook. So we can go and deduct it. We can go back and deduct it. Let's get it. We can deduct it and, do you understand? And make it do a proper documentary. We just have words around it. And I don't know when is this when Eden event is the end of this month, well. Wow. That's a short time. Would have just had something to air that people see when they come. We can do it. We can do it. Take some videos, take interviews of pastor, interview of pastor's wife, interviews of people that were here, what their experience. We merge it with some from when it started to now that we are here. Do you understand? Now put it with those who have been influenced by the church, those who have been touched. We can have that. So the media guys, we can make that happen, all right? So the power of storytelling is one that outlives the person who is telling the story. Jesus died many years ago, but we are living in his story. Nelson Mandela has died, but we understand his story. Miles Monroe has died. Who doesn't know Miles Monroe here? I should tell you, put you inside River Benue and throw you away, man. If you don't know, go and check the internet. Miles Monroe, that guy, that man changed the whole leadership scenario, changed everything about potential, changed everything about purpose. Somebody, same story, lived in a house with how many children? Water, and they'll be patting them one side. But before he died, he had private jets. What are you talking about? So the story, whatever story we're telling here, is not for this place. It will outlive this church. It will outlive the person who is the set man over this place, who Jesus has kept here. So, have you ever wondered? So, taking a background check, example. Now, I use Sheila as a scenario here. But let me say the Eden Conference, right? Take a background check. Somebody is doing a background check or a video of how the planning is happening. You're just taking those clips and you're keeping them together. How does pastor even prepare? Like his prayer time, his study time, he's moving around. Let's set up this here. The back end. Have you ever thought of documenting that part? Do you know the story that you can communicate? Now, it doesn't sound relevant to what you want to do, but I'm giving you a background check to why I'm thinking that we should start thinking storytelling as much as possible. Because, of course, if I just tell you, let's go on Instagram, let's post, you will not know the reason why you need to post and what you're supposed to post. Did you get? Are you with me? Let's move on. So, back end. So, for those who don't know my name is Samuel Obo. Sorry, I didn't mention my name. Obo Nsa. I'm a cross river Calabar. But I stay in plenty places. I'm also a TV man. Cause I married a TV woman, so of course. So why am I? I'm a better man by 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 pounded young. So how my journey started, I've told you guys. What am I passionate about? I really want to see people get better. That's my passion. I'm passionate about leadership, passionate about entrepreneurship, passionate about just media and all of that. But what do I do differently? I just do things differently. I just think different. That's all. So you're aware that people spend the least on storytelling. True of us. I'll give you instances. Have you been part of somebody's wedding before? Who's a photographer here? You are? Who? You are, sir. Okay, you're a photographer. Example. Do you do it officially? Do you do it officially? Apart from church? Okay, don't. But before you used to do it apart from church. She, when you used to do, when people come and meet you for wedding, you get to price you your exact price. Like, did they price you your what as a photographer? They price you your what? Ah, you're good though. So now, okay, let me even know your what at that time. Probably okay. If you want to do a wedding now, how much do you charge? Okay, that's no wonder they price you your what. Because I can't shoot a wedding for 150. No matter what. We're talking about five something. Yeah, I can't shoot it for 150. Depending anyway on the package I'm giving you. There's some that you can do for 1.2, 1.92 million, all of that. But depending. So it's not like I cannot shoot though, but if I'm close to you and I can help you do it, like I want to do it. But if I'm charging my what at a particular level, then that's what I charge. Now, we realize that people spend least on storytelling. And that's why we don't have history. For those who followed the former vice president of Nigeria, what's his name? Former vice president. Good. How many people saw his pictures? If you go on, his photographer was a lady. Oh my God. Tolani Ali. She, me- she mentors me. My God. Before, we don't even know who is vice president in this country. But she made that amplified the office because of what? Storytelling. She amplified that office, made it work, amplified that office. And that's what we can do here. And don't forget, I said it's not restricted to photography, video. Storytelling is as an usher in the music, as protocols, sound engineering, photography, whatever we do in church. Just imagine that we're in sync together, sharing the same thing together, having the same mindset. Do you know that will happen? I told him, I said, what we have here is enough. We can multiply this church times. But if the people are willing, we can multiply this church. Bam! Not just the church. The city can be crying if we understand it. Now, you prefer to use, and notwithstanding, you pray in this place. Yeah, 600 days. Is it beans? Ha! There's always a cloud of glory, but we just need to. If you play chess, you understand how chess works. Just do one thing like that. Before you know, you don't throw things off. Now, people you tell you that they prefer to use their brother apprentice to do the work. I'm just saying it from my own point of view. How about tailors? Do you have a tailor here? What do people do? Who does? What do you do? You sew. Do people really pay you or what? You don't sew for people, for yourself. Your what? Who else does something different apart from being a pastor? Because like I said, I don't see everybody here now, pastor. So all these pastors don't look at me. Sir, what do you do, please? Sir? Research. Did they pay you for your words or research? They pay you on your words. And because you have a particular, so on your words now, because I'm trying to get, is also, this, I'm learning something now. It depends on your perspective of words. Yeah. Because what somebody may be getting, the same amount you're getting, maybe somebody may be getting like 3 times, giving the same value. Uh-huh. I may be saying my worth is 5 something for soft copies and stuff. But there are people that will collect 1.5 million soft copy, no shaking. There's a makeup artist that collects 8 million in this country for makeup. Yeah, if you hear some kind of things. In your mind, if I look at some people's mind here, they say, for what? It's poverty mentality. Don't go there. Don't. Because my mind has gotten to White House from this country, receiving millions in our account. Why? Because president said that my mind won't chop. He tested my mind when he came to this country and said that my mind should bring it from Nigeria. So my mind will climb plane. My, My man will climb plane and be going there. Same test. They take it. Why they not fly the woman? But mama they climb from Nigeria. They go abroad. That's how your value can be. So sometimes people don't want to pay their worth, but it's fine. And that's why we don't have history in Nigeria. But we can make it happen for church. Now, tips for media personnel. Don't forget I'm talking to media people. So everybody here is a media person. So let's go. Pay attention to your dressing. I can't say that here because I see a lot of people dress. But for those who don't dress well to church, please pay attention to dressing. Don't wear sky blue, then wear yellow, then wear pink. You understand? You can, you can all depend. In fact, I prefer that I go with dark colors a lot. So pay attention to the dressing. I love everything black. If you notice my phone, like so this one that is blue, and maybe that one on my leg, but everything in my dressings, probably the ones I have are always black, 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 black. Because you always have a reason to be in front of people. All right. So I pay attention to your dressing. Learn to be invisible. There's something that people do when they're taking pictures. Somebody's worshiping, just come and stand in front of a person. I'm like, okay. And they will not stay there for like almost 2 minutes. Get out of my face, let me worship God. So learn to be invisible. That's the tips for media personnel. Number 3, know your scripture. Those people that are handling vMix, it's not for just them, everybody do. Well, you should be 10 steps ahead of pastor. About the people in that place, no scripture. So that in case this person is not getting, one person can tell them. So know your scripture. Number 4, invest in yourself. Study everything about communications. Take online courses. There's Coursera. See, whatever you're doing here, there are things I've gone to do for people that I stumbled on. I'm training you today. There are many people who are probably, my skill is photography. I do photography. Possibly in the documentary point of view, weddings and all of that, outdoor. That's my skill. But I have idea on video editing. Not idea, I do video editing properly. I do communications, leadership, money, marketing. Some of those ones, I don't really have plenty idea, but I have an idea of it. I know a little bit of everything. You know why? Because of some people I've worked with, I have to learn like that. Human psychology. For psychology, I was learning it since. I feel catch you when you lie. You know, when you're scratching your neck and you're lying. Sometimes your eye is twitching. You know, there are some lies that people are making. They don't even know they are making. Their eyes shaking. I've got you. Emotional intelligence. Somebody come here. Hey, this church. Hey. You too, because you be boss. You go. What's wrong with you? Get out of here. You don't have emotional intelligence. Imagine you just, my sister, you are beautiful. Do you know I used to do my evangelism? I didn't say evangelize to. When I go on the streets, I'll look for those Yahoo boys. That's the people I go to. Yahoo boys and sisters that are anyhow. I just walk. My sister. And I'll be hiding in flyer. I she won't see. I said, wow. There's one I told. I didn't know that an angel escaped from him. That normal psyche that people use for demonic things. After I don't do it, I say, hey, I want to invite you to church. I was hiding my hand too at my ring. So not be outside. When I talk finish, I say, hey, I want to invite you to church, my ring. So I'm married and I'm inviting to church. Then I'll drive my car. I want to invite people. I don't like older place. I'll go to school. Inside, what do you call it now? BSc that time. From work, I'll just carry my fly in the car. Because of course, when they see and you're dressed, you're wearing your suits, you're approaching them, that's how you're talking. I don't have transport, you're bringing money out of your pocket and you're giving them. Be in church by Wednesday or be in church on Sunday. That's why you must pray that God gives you ability too. So you're bringing money, you're smiling, you're looking good, your perfume is loud, everything. That's the one that they will tell you, your God is my God. The God you serve is my God. So, invest in yourself, emotional intelligence. Understand the people or the person you're working with. Who is Pastor or Reverend Hughes Apo? Don't come to church and feel, now their thing now. It is not their thing. Have a stakeholder mentality. Sometimes he will be intense. Understand it's the work. Nothing there. It is not their thing. Have a stakeholder mentality. Always study. That's tips for media personnel. Understand the vision and goals of your lead pastor. Right now, we're entering a new phase. How many people have sat down to understand it? The point is that you're trying to pursue your own thing. You want them to know you, but you don't understand that when you release the goal of this person, whatever you sow is what you reap. Do you understand? As God sent you here to work in his tabernacle, and assigned you to the man, the set man here, to assist him. That's how God will be releasing people for your own vision. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you nothing but the serious truth. I've seen it happen in my life a lot and a lot. There's no venture I apply, I work on. Like, it must work. It works out. There's a case we have. I was telling you about the case. Was it you? Of a missing child, a girl who they brought to my house to stay. She got missing on 1st of October. We didn't see her. I almost didn't want to come for this trip. But I said, no. Me and Pastor have been going back and forth. When he's free, I'm busy. When I'm busy, he's free. All of this. So I didn't want to mess it up. So I had to calm down. But he just told me last night. I just prayed and said, God, I beg. Last night, they found the girl. Now, this is the situation. They found her with this civil defense found her, and there's some things she said. She actually wanted to go back to the village. Her grandma came and grandma said she should stay. And we said, carry this girl and go, because the girl, her attitude was somehow. I said, I beg, carry the girl and go. But she kept her. This girl stole some money from the house and started trekking from Lokoja. She's coming to Benue State. I'm telling you the truth. If you know Lokoja, you know that from Lokoja, she was trekking to come. So don't you think that that's a possession of something? Somebody's possessed. I already told my wife, because she can't operate in my house, so the fire they burn where so she really wants to go. And she can't do anything to do it. And we started looking for her. You know what that means? People in the village they're calling our life. But you see, when you have Jesus, I prayed one time and I just entered peace. So everything everybody was saying, I was looking at them. I said, the girl go come on. Anywhere she did, she'll come on. So it was random people that saw her and brought her. She had never even gone out of local joy when they saw her. So while you're dealing with those things, right? While you're dealing with those things, there are a lot of stuff coming up at you. So as much as possible, always study, understand the vision and goals of your lead pastor. Always be prepared for success. Learn to make history, right? Learn to make history. What you can document, all right? Understanding the mind behind whose story you are telling. Be efficient. Be at your game. Never choose to be discouraged. Don't be discouraged about anything. Encourage yourself always. I read something about discouragement. There's a book called Prosperity. I read something around discouragement. The brother of discouragement is doubt. Start feeling somehow. And when you start feeling discouraged, you notice that you can't see things. You can't be creative. Do you know that some people that are telling you, oh gosh, their discouragement is that they'll tell you that their friends have gone far. Why have their friends gone far? Because their friend is driving Venza and they are driving pencil lights. How? But there are people trekking. There are people who don't have legs. And that person is crying, my friends have gone far. On what grounds? My friends have gone far. But there are people staying under the bridge. One day I was driving, and I was just driving, I was looking at something. He said, that would have been you. So don't put yourself high there. So from that day, I need to carry myself. If I come here, what are you talking about? Greet everybody, I can hug you. Because that could have been me. I can come down to nothing. I've come down to nothing in my life before. Nothing. Like a scratch. Nothing. So, understanding whose story you're telling, be efficient, be at your game. Always smiling. Come. Forget mood swing. You don't have a problem. Mood swing is a demonic thing. Come, be smiling. Well, how we go do this thing? First person, don't say it's their thing. It is our thing. All right? Be at your game. Be prepared like your boss. Pastor has come to church, he prays. Pray. We do what they call personal supplication in church, and people are seeing me walking up and down taking pictures. One day, one elder tapped me, say, "You need to pray." I said, "Prayer I don't do already for us. Because I'm going to walk in church." So I spent time preparing myself praying. Why do you pray? You know pray now, you pray your prayer, free me. That man respected me from that. The senior man, oh, he said, "You know they pray for church. Anytime they do pray." I said, "I mean they take time because I allow those boys to pray because I know see them know they pray." So me, I take my time in praying because you can structure these things. Take my time in praying for myself, prepare myself, and you that I'm working in church at the word of God pass you. I don't get carried away. I don't get carried away. So be prepared like your boss. Because you get arrow can come. If arrow, pastor don't dodge them. Now you. So some people fall under anointing, or people will just fall on, no anointing, no, arrow that knock them. Arrow knock them, it's no good. Because you are dealing with all manner of people. It's not everybody that is human beings that come to this place. So pray. And that's why I tell choir people, pray. Because you set the perspective for church. If you see church dragging, just not choir didn't do their work. I'm telling you now. You see, two people that did not do their work. The person that did opening prayer, he did not pray well. Or choir did not pray. I say it again and again. Because I understand the power. You know what music is? God had a musician now, had his own person that would usher him. Who was that? Lucy. He would usher him in. That's why some very senior men of God, they go with their own person that ushers them in. Especially those who are carried with, music and all of that. Theophilus used to be for Pastor Apostle Aroma, right? Daddy Adeboye was the saxophonist. He's still a saxophonist. Before he preaches, the guy go blow something. It will enter another level. It will be spinning. Find your niche and set yourself apart. I said, you can learn everything, but don't be a jack of all trades, all right? Be good at what you do. You see? Be good at what you do. As a storyteller, you are giving people the feeling of being a part of that space or atmosphere, even when they are not there. So you're not just communicating what people are seeing on site. And the reason why I'm here, why I came all the way, is to try and position us on the online space. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So let people be able to experience church even when they are not in church. They enjoy more. There are churches I worship online. I enjoy their service. Pastor Femi Lazarus Church is one of those. They do music. Logic is one. True, some of them say, once the music don't finish, I don't cut off. Because that's what carried me there. Why some is the word that will take me there. I watch a dynamic of many churches. I'm a Living Faith member. Yeah, that's my church. But I don't just stay there. I don't just stay there and become what do you call it, local champion. Because I used to wonder how people do church politics. I fear. I say, how do they do them? How do they take to all those things? Storytelling involves emotion. So tell evidence. A storyteller is a strong force or the person who keeps memories that can't be forgotten. So don't forget what Pastor was saying. We're talking about what happened like 5 years. And without those pictures, he said they're on Facebook. So if we go back on Facebook, God helping us, we'll get them. With that, he can sit down. Have you seen a picture before? And you remember this day. Just by one picture, probably here, on the clothes you wore, and the date you just remember. You can remember what happened on the bike. Maybe how the bike man insulted you. How you were cooking soup and the thing fell. You just say, real story, Sha. That day, this particular day, I was cooking stew, and that stew was my lassie, and the thing fell, the meat fell. Hey, do you understand? Those are stories that remind you of stuff by one picture. All right. Now, as a storyteller, you must learn to love the people you are documenting. You can't hate people. People will feel it. You hate me. He hates people. Love the people you are documenting. Sorry. Love the people you are documenting. All right? Because there's something that happens when you love people. You don't need to tell them. They will know. Yes. Give you an instance. I had a pastor who would come to church. He would scold and scold and scold. He loved the people, but he would scold. He didn't go out the vex, everything. A new pastor now came. The response of the people was different. He didn't have to even tell them. But him too would throw scold though. But there was somewhere that love was lying, underlying love somewhere. So people could literally feel it. And people were, coming to church, attending church because of him. Are you getting the point? Are you getting what I'm saying? So you have to love the people you're telling. Because the way life is, it pays attention to people who love deeply. God reveals himself in story. True of us. We talked about parable now. Talk to me. We talked about parable. What's the reason for parables? Their story. And I said, Jesus was a content creator. Everybody was being careful. But that's true. Because those stories that you see, if it is now, those are content of now. Are you aware? Yes, now. Yes. The Bible is our story. It begins in the beginning, God. So remember what I told you about Jesus now? God. So I remember what super book? These women, you people don't see all these ladies. Have you watched Superbook, any of you? How did they start that story? In fact, I started watching Superbook, I didn't watch it when I was small, though, forgive me. It was when my daughter, because of her, I started watching cartoon, I have to be with her. And I was watching Superbook as if I was the person. I could not. In fact, from that Superbook, I got the concept for a concert we did. Because Superbook has the real time and the storyline. So that's how we did the concert, from Superbook. So what happened was that I did a concert. The concert, I wasn't mine, but I was like the creative director for the event. I told the person, "Can you imagine that people are acting movies and they don't know they're acting the movie?" So on stage it was a Christmas concert. On stage was Joseph, all of those things, and these people were watching and they were telling the same story. And there was the MCs did not leave stage; they were on this other side and they were watching. Everybody was watching the movie together. I got inspired by Superbook. And nobody knew until I told them, that's Superbook teach me. Superbook that taught me. All right, so it starts from the beginning. Psychology says we are wired as humans for stories. Nobody forgets a good story. So what I'm saying is that let's start telling the stories of this church. Hello, hi, welcome to church. How did you see service today? Story don't start. Do we do it? We should. Create views. I believe that with how I'm going to share this with Pastor, we're going to be, branding that outside. So when people are coming to church, as media people, find a place where people can come to church. We put hashtags. People are snapping. I said it's a youth church. Bro, if I'm here, I'll cause trouble. I'm not your regular guy. I can fight for it. People are coming to church. We have a photo booth. We did one for Christmas in my church. If you're in my church, it's more like a very structured environment. But we know the rules and we break it. Not like break, we bend it. Because so right now, even Papa, everybody's dancing to the youth. So they're not giving us space. My church. We did for Christmas, we created a photo booth. People were begging us, please let me snap. Environment is fine. Church is fine. But they said that photo booth, they want it. And we took pictures of over 1,000 people. 1,000 people. Come and go now, carry your children and go. Thank you, thank you. I say, the other of my child not snap. We say, okay, stand here. When your child comes, we're taking pictures. We are like 3 photographers. Pa, 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 pa. Guess what? He added to our church. People will now use their phones and take. It also boosted our social media because people went there. People were sharing it. We had massive following that period. So imagine that there's a photo booth. There's something that people can work with. There's something that people can. Do you understand? It will bring attention to church. It will bring people, like You know, are you aware that youths are looking for a place where they can worship and they don't know? Yes. What made Koza what it was in Abuja? So when we're talking about a youth church now, then it was Koza you mentioned in Abuja. There was no church now. All these ones that are coming now. Okay, let's talk about Apostle Iran. But he wasn't even loud. It wasn't Abuja, he was loud. He was loud in Lagos. I think he was in Taco. He used to be in Taco. But he was not loud in Abuja because I didn't even know he was in Abuja. He's in Lagos. He became bam. But Koza was the in thing. Anything youth. And Koza, it's just recently someone was telling me that GUC was part of gratitude. And that's why I'm particular about the choir, because the choir, most of the times, when it comes to building up, it's the choir that goes out first. I'm so particular about them. Imagine that you have your own content and you're building up content, you're building up stuff as a choir. Not collective. Everybody in the choir has their channels. That when they sing, on Sunday, everything, they are working on those stops. Our media guys are hundreds. They are producing stops. And that's why I said, request for your own hard disk so that they won't be complaining of space. Collect space from them. Collect it and keep. Find a way, edit it. Collect sound. Put it together. Put it together. So God talks in stories. We talked about parables. Let me move on quickly because we're going to do some practicals. So why tell your story? Story constitutes the single most powerful weapon in leaders' arsenal. You know what they call arsenal? Not football team. Although that's my club, but I've not watched them in years because they were messing me up. I used to have hypertension because of Arsenal. These people were, go judge them. Even when Arsenal winger was there, I was having, how will I be having, I just stopped football. I said, I cannot come and die because of these people now. What? They're paying them money. Arsenal is that place where you keep your weapons. So there are some people who carry, they are mobile Arsenal where you keep your sword, what do you call this thing now? These arrows. Yeah. Your quiver. So you put those things too. It's like your arsenal. So you bring it out and you. That is where your arsenal is. When you're telling story, you're injecting into the heart of people. Are you getting me? You are telling stories, you're injecting the heart of people. So the leaders must, your weapon. And don't forget, when I talked about leaders, for those who are not here, what did I say? Who are leaders? Yeah? Not just influencers. I'm talking about we. Who are the leaders here? Every one of us. So I'm not saying that because maybe Pastor here is the head of our leadership, or he's the head of media now. Then you now say, everybody here is a leader. But we have somebody that we follow, even if all of us are leaders. Are you getting my point? What we're saying is that, because there are some people that will say, that bros that came, you say everybody, so bros, you cannot talk to me anyhow. That's the more reason why you should be humble, because as a leader, you need to serve. Do we understand? So, stories are light. Light is precious in a world that is so dark. Begin at the beginning. Tell the story. Make some light. So you begin. Where's the beginning? Beginning, God. Tell the story. Then make the light. And we said story are what? Light. Jesus is what? Light. And he's also the word, right? Come on now, let's connect, right? So story, in church setting, story are light. I showed you the car. The car cannot function. And that's why we are all important. Don't look at the person. There's somebody that comes and he carries the camera, arrange the cables. He's as important as you who is shooting. I tell my folks, I tell them, those I go and train, I say, don't be proud of anything. No. Whatever you got is from God. Don't allow the small chachara now that you're doing to affect. Don't do that. As I'm teaching you now, and you say something, I would listen, no matter how small that person is. I asked you now, the reason why, first of all, why you will listen to me, because I was assigned by a positional leader or the leader to tell me that you will listen. But now you're vibing because we are relating. Relationship. It has moved in less than a few seconds, we're already relating. So we have moved. It's no more listening because you have to. Now you're listening because at least you now have small thing to tell you. Small. So we'll move on to the next. All right. So move on. This is the story structure, and I'm coming to this. Go with me. A character, everybody, a character has a problem, then meets a guide who gives them a plan and calls them to action. That results either success. That action either results in success or failure. That action either results in success or failure. All right. So let's move on. A character. Who is the character in movies? Who is your character? Actor now. Why are people talking like this now? Actor. People used to watch those movies that time when you were small. Actor. So in another word, they call them the protagonist. The protagonist. I'm going to narrate back to church. You know who the character is, and I'll ask you. So follow me. He has a problem. Some is love issues. You know, Nigerian movie, most is love. That's their problem. Or one which woman is pushing them. But in the other one, they're trying to tackle one issue or the other. All right? Which movie can we use? Is there a gospel movie? How many people have watched War Room here? What happened? There was a woman who was a character. Her problem was the family problem with her husband, who was even aspiring to cheat on her. The guy didn't even have time for her. Then she meets a guide. Who's the guide? That mama. The mama started taking her through. I'm breaking down this. That's the movie. So when you're watching movie, you now say, you even know the end of the movie before the beginning. This template I'm giving you like this, it's just love. So now they meet the guide. The guide now starts telling her, asking her questions. And she's coming up with, the man is this, the man is that, regular thing. And the guy is looking at her. Because she has gone through the same issue. Probably not the same way, but something else. And she starts dishing out plans. Start telling her, go and make a war room for yourself. Make a war room, clear out your closet. First of all, she gave her coffee. Say, when last you go to church? Say, I went ish, this generation of any people. She now brought the coffee. Give her. Duma was holding the hot coffee. She didn't even have cold coffee, gave her lukewarm coffee. And she gave, Duma drank. She said, that's how you are. She didn't have to talk too much. This is who you are. Duma went to her closet with the plan. Called her to action immediately. Bam! Throw things out. Ba, 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 ba. The guy came by and said, what's happening here? One of the guy's issues was that she had a smelling foot, right? Good. When God brought the man down, he was the one massaging the foot. Because the woman now painted a story, called the lady to action, painted a story of both success, failure, and painted a story of success to her. All right, let's bring it down to church. Who is our character? Talk to me. Pastor? That means people are not listening to me. Who's your character, man? Who is the actor of the movie? Talk to me. Say it again. That is it. The members. Because now they don't get problem. Yes, they have problem. If you go to another church now, you will also become a character too. because you're supposed to be positioned as a guide. But if you go to another church that day, you're a member. So, what is their problem? Some, they want to be healed. Money, job, fruit of the womb. They want to marry. A lot of problems, right? That's the problem of character. And I'm going to tell you how to document those kind of things, right? Now, then they meet a guide. Who is the guide? Pastor. Those who are working, yourselves. You're the guide. You're all the guides because you're working in church, all right? Pastor is the guide. Choir is the guide, also a very major guide because as pastor, some people get blessed. In fact, from Usher self. Usher is coming to the church. There's a smile that somebody will collect that healed the person. That's their guide, all right? Now, who gives them a plan? Pastor is preaching, so the guides give them a plan. Repent. True holiness. This, that. Save your money. Plan your life. Don't be a spender. Reduce your spending. You will do this. All right. So he gives them a plan and calls them to action. So that's why we see people call them to altar to give their life to Christ. Altar call. We don't wait for another day. We call you there. When you've heard the word, yeah, come outside and give your life to Christ. You come outside and you give your life to Christ. Then there, while he's preaching, he's painting the scenario and tell you, if you don't apply this action, what happens? You will fail. If you work on this action, what happens? Success. So let's give some practical look. As a photographer, somebody comes into this church. I'm documenting. Don't forget I said we are all cars. So that's why we have the production man there. We have the people who are videoing. We are all cars. We're in a car. Maybe you're the engine, you're the tire, you're the spark plug, you're the whatever. All those things we have in car that makes the car move. Imagine all of us are these components in the car. All right? And we're documenting. All of us are, in a movie, we watch a movie and we know sometimes only the production manager that you know. Or the executive producer. Maybe Kemi Adetiba. That's the only person you may know. But the Kemi Adetiba was just hired directing. The men who are doing the gaffer, the lights person, the person arranging the truss, the person doing the camera guy, the DOP. People don't really know them. The sound engineer, all right? The set manager, the costume person. Their names are there, but you don't know their names. True or false? True. But you know the executive producer. There are some say, you're not even bothered of knowing the actor of the movie. Nigerians that don't even read anything. Nothing concerned. He said that movie. Some don't even know the name of the film. They just remember the story. Do you understand? So, now, every story. So imagine that somebody walks into the church. Or people are walking as a photographer. You go outside. People coming into church. Different coming. People are holding their babies. Don't forget, it's not just one person you're documenting. You're documenting people. He's holding his baby. Maybe the child is trying to jump. There's a picture I took one time. The child was trying to jump to collect biscuit and that picture was going out very far in church then and, all over the internet that time. I was trying to jump, trying to collect something from mom. We just documented it. Coming, we have people, the worship. I believe there's intense worship here, so people are crying. That tears means a lot. Fire it. Bah. Not just the tears. You can take close-up, wide angles. You can take close portraits. You can take extreme close-up. You take different stuff. Bam. Right? Once we are done and people are done, we're done with taking those stops. The next thing that happens is that people are, we have prayer time. We see that intensity. We're taking it. The next thing, we have offerings, all those things. You take close-up shots of the hands, close-up shots of this, all of those things. We're taking wide-angle shots of people dancing and all of that. The next thing, we're taking shots of pastor preaching. We're taking it, there's a shot you can take, and everybody here is black or blood. Pastor is the only one showing the light. It shows that pastor is preaching. Those are storylines. All right? Those are for pictures alone. And like that, we can now collapse it with, just imagine, you took a picture of somebody last week, and this week he's coming to tell testimony. Give a testimony of what happened to his life or her life. Do you know that we can merge the two together? And say, last week, this is before and after. So before he was sitting down on the pew, after he's telling the testimony, and you outline the testimony, you've already covered the story in one picture. Did you get? All right, so let's move on. Let's move on to the next thing. So that